The Elder Scrolls Online managed to be one of the biggest MMOs right now. It's now at 7 million users. How do you manage to get there?
That's a good question. So yeah, we've had 7 million people have played the game since we launched 2 years ago. And we launched on PC, and then we got a lot of feedback saying that the game needed to be a lot more options, a lot more Elder Scrolls, and so we spent the next 2 years basically putting in new features that would make players more comfortable with the world and make it feel a little more freedom, more exploration. So that's how we got there. We took away the required subscription. We added features like the justice system where you could be a thief if you wanted and a criminal. And we're going to end that with One Tamriel, which is coming out, which is the feature that we just announced.
Okay. How do you think the model changing impacted the whole success of the game?
It was one of those things. There were a list of things that players were commenting about, and one was they didn't feel like they wanted to have to pay every month, and so they wanted the option not to do that. So we still have a subscription, and we still have a lot of people subscribing, but you don't have to. And so I think that helped players who maybe weren't sure if they would like the game. It helped them make the decision to buy it, because then there wasn't any pressure after that, and they could just play it as much as they wanted.
And now we have this creepy background because we're getting the Dark Brotherhood. The trailer was rather, tense, and what can we expect in terms of gameplay situations, and then you have to keep your back safe all the time.
Yeah, so the Dark Brotherhood is a very famous organization in Elder Scrolls games, and so it's very dark and creepy, and it's a secret group of people that kill other people for money, essentially. And so you, in the Dark Brotherhood, you get to join the organization, become an assassin. So we have the cool story that Elder Scrolls players want, but we also have quests that players can go on as much as they want to go. They get contracts on NPCs and have to travel around the world and find them and kill them, and they get money for it.
What else can you tell us about the Dark Brotherhood? What kind of characters can we expect to see? How does the storyline goes, etc.?
Well, no spoilers, but
some clues.
So the game takes place on the Gold Coast of Cyrodiil, which is actually very nostalgic because that's where a lot of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion took place. So if you played the game Oblivion, you'll be very familiar because it has the city of Kvatch, which is it was a very important city in Oblivion. So we wanted to take players back to an area of the world that they knew and then tell a new story about the Dark Brotherhood from there. So yeah, you get to join the organization. The story is all about the different factions in the Gold Coast are using the Dark Brotherhood to kill each other, and so you learn why that is and who's actually behind it as you play through the story.
And that's not the only thing we can look forward to in terms of new content for the game, right?
Oh yeah, we're always adding new content. In August, we have a DLC dungeon pack coming out, which is Argonian dungeons. But the big thing that we talked about is One Tamriel, which isn't really a DLC. It's more a game changer that we're coming in that changes the way that characters level. And so what it means is that the world will level you to the content, so any player can group with any other player and don't need to worry about how powerful they are. It also means once you leave the tutorial, you can walk anywhere in the world that you want. You don't have to go through the content in a specific order. So it's a pretty cool change. It really will give the player that Elder Scrolls freedom.
And what for the future? What can we expect in 2017? What are your broader plans for the game?
Well, it's no secret that we will add content and systems to the game as long as there are people that want to play the game. But in the first quarter of 2017, we're going to add a housing system, which is a very big thing. It'll be really cool. And after that, you'll have to wait to hear.
Perhaps Bethesda VR being integrated into that, because of course the technology and the graphics of this game are perhaps more flexible for that.
Yeah, Bethesda has a big VR thing here in the booth at E3, but we're starting to play around with it. But it's going to be a while before you see any Elder Scrolls Online VR. But it's really cool.
Yeah, because fans are like crazy. They want to be living inside this world, and of course, as you witnessed it during the Bethesda presentation. They're crazy to be inside here, even together with VR, right?
Yes, we have a lot of very, very enthusiastic fans. I think the whole world knows that now. Yeah, and VR will be something that we'll be exploring, certainly. But, we're going to get through One Tamriel and housing and the stuff that's coming in August. But, yeah, the future is bright.
Okay, looking forward to all these new features, and thank you very much for your time.
Oh, my pleasure. Anytime.